Guys, it's DK back at you with another video here for the NBA main slate here on Monday. So good to be back after a few days of absence. I was on the road, so I was not able to play over the weekend, but I am very excited to be back. We got a nice, I think it's 9-game slate today. 9 games, yep. So a pretty decent sized slate. So yeah, I'm excited to get back into some NBA DFS. Since we got such a big slate, I'm just going to go in position by position, picking out a few plays that I like. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to give my core plays. So definitely stick around for that. Okay, so let's start at point guard. So at the top, Westbrook is out for personal reasons. So he will not be playing. So you can definitely give a look to a guy like Dennis Schroeder again. He is at 8K. Great matchup here against Sacramento. The issue is the price. I think he's priced pretty appropriate here. I definitely still think he has upside at that price. But he's not, he's not 6K, 7K like he was a few weeks ago. Kemba Walker, I just thought I'd bring him up. That was an insane game, 60 points against Philly. Philly was a team that I was always scared to target guys against because, they got pretty good defenders with Ben Simmons. Now they got Jimmy Butler. Embiid's a pretty good defender. But, Kemba just went off. So I think I think I can start to target people against Philly. I was always kind of afraid of doing so, but they have been getting burned lately. Their defense has not been as good as it has been in the past. So yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up. Oladipo, he's listed as questionable right now, but he did just get ruled out. So that's going to open up a lot for some Indiana guys. Let's see here. Okay, so at 6.3K, the two Atlanta point guards, Trae Young and Jeremy Lin, I am definitely considering. Trae Young, I don't know if I can do it for cash games. He's just been kind of limited, and Jeremy Lin has been playing a lot better than Trae Young has. And Atlanta's rotations are just, I can't stand. They ran a 12-man rotation last game, which is just insane. And they just seem to want to play everyone 15 to 25 minutes, no one more than that. But I think Trae Young no one will be on him today, and he does still have great upside. I don't think I can do it in cash. I think I would prefer a guy like Jeremy Lin at a $2,000 discount. But 6.3K is not a bad salary for Trae Young, and I definitely think he's viable for GPPs. So let's go down to 6.1K, and I think this is the easiest lock of the day is De'Aaron Fox. I don't really understand why he got discounted $800. So he only saw 25 minutes against Houston, but that's because they got destroyed. And yeah, if this game stays close, Fox is going to play, 35 to 40 minutes. He's a very high usage guy in this offense. He's got no Westbrook. He's going to have Dennis Schroeder defense. I love De'Aaron Fox today. I think he's an absolute lock at this salary of 6.1K. Okay, so let's scroll down to Jeremy Lin. So I already talked about Trae Young. And Jeremy Lin, the issue with him was, he just wasn't really seeing minutes early on in the season. He's kind of being limited to 10 to 15 minutes. Recently now, he's starting to see more minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. If this trend continues, which, it kind of seems like it is, Atlanta just seems to be playing everyone, again, 15 to 25 minutes. At 4.2K, he's a very high usage guy off the bench. I'm definitely considering Jeremy Lin at 4.2K. So let's talk about these Indiana point guards and Corey Joseph and Darren Collison. With Oladipo out, these guys are both going to see a little more usage in the offense, a few more minutes. I know the matchup's not ideal against Utah. I don't like targeting people against Utah, but I think these guys are certainly viable. I just think I will be targeting someone else on Indiana. I'll get to him in a second with no Oladipo. But again, I do think they are certainly in play today. Okay, so let's move on to shooting guard. So we got DeMar DeRozan here at 9.1K. You guys know I don't like playing him, but they did make a change to the starting lineup where they took Derek White out of the starting lineup and put Rudy Gay in, which actually helps DeMar DeRozan a lot because that helps his assist ratio. He's going to be running the point a lot more. So if that starting lineup, if that stays the same, with Derek White off the bench and with Rudy Gay in the starting lineup, I think you definitely have to consider DeMar DeRozan. Even I will consider him today. The matchup's ideal, and again, if he's going to be running a lot of the point guard duties, he's got triple-double upside. So I'm definitely considering him at 9.1K. So we got Donovan Mitchell at 7.3K. So Indiana's a pretty good defense, but with no Oladipo now, I think I'm definitely considering Donovan Mitchell at 7.3K. He's been a little inconsistent, 33, 20, 18, but back-to-back games, 43 and then 49 fantasy points. If this game stays close, he should see 35 minutes or so. And I think he's just too underpriced here at 7.3K. So someone I am heavily considering today. I think he'll be pretty popular. So definitely got to consider Donovan Mitchell today at 7.3K. Okay, so I guess I'll talk about Bazemore. Again, these Hawks, I can't stand them. You never know what the minute situation is going to be like. His minutes seem to be the most secure, I guess, since he saw 31 minutes. He does have, all the upside with those steals. We know Taurean Prince has already been ruled out or is doubtful, so I don't think he's going to play. So Bazemore's usage goes up. I don't think I can do that in cash games. I do think he has high upside, though, for GPPs. Another King I'll talk about, I think these Kings, again, are just too underpriced with De'Aaron Fox and now Buddy Hield at 5.6K. Yes, he only saw 30 minutes. Again, that was because of a blowout. His minutes, though, have been taking, he hasn't been seeing, 35 to 40 minutes. His minutes are being kind of limited to about 30 minutes or so because Bogdanovich is back. They got guys like Shumpert. So Buddy Hield, he doesn't have this minute security like De'Aaron Fox does, but he does have a lot of upside. He's going to shoot the ball a ton when he's out there. 14, 17, 13, 12, 17. He's going to shoot the ball a ton. And the thing I like about him is he's getting a lot of rebounds. He's getting a few assists here and there, so he's not just a scorer, which I do like. And I just think he's too cheap at 5.6K. So I am heavily considering Buddy Hield today. Okay. So I already talked about Darren Collison and Corey Joseph. But the guy I had the most interest in is Tyreke Evans here at 4.1K. If it'll pop up. Let's see. Okay. For some reason, that's weird. So he kind of had an off game with when Oladipo got injured. He only played 5 minutes. And Tyreke only played 24 minutes against the Hawks. He had an off game. So I do like that because I think that will lower his ownership a bit today. But I'm all over Tyreke. We know last year how high of a usage guy he was with Memphis. And again, with such a high usage guy out of the offense like Oladipo, I just think Tyreke Evans is a lock and load here today at 4.1K. I do think since he had a kind of off game against Atlanta, that will lower his ownership. But I will be going right to Tyreke today at 4.1K. Let's see. There's one more guy I thought I'd bring up is Kevin Huerter. Again, I don't like the Hawks rotation, but with Taurean Prince out of the lineup, he's at 28 and 29 minutes. So I just thought I'd bring that up if you want to go, more of a stars and scrubs approach and you need someone for salary relief. I don't think he's the worst option at 3.3K. Okay, so let's move on to small forward. So at the top here, we got Giannis Antetokounmpo at 11.3. I think he's price appropriate, but he does have upside here against Denver. Denver does have trouble guarding the small forward position. So I do think Giannis is a stud you definitely have to consider today. Paul George at 10.4K. He's been playing out of his mind with no Westbrook. The matchup is very good here against the Kings. The game should stay close. Let's see. Yeah, it's 223 over under and a 2.5 point spread. So the game should stay close. The thing is, his salary, it's an elevated salary. I don't know. I mean, I think he's a very good play, but I just don't know if I want to go there at elevated salary here at 10.4K. I do still think he has upside against the Kings, but I think I would be looking elsewhere than Paul George today. Let's see, Tobias Harris, a guy I've talked about a lot. A good matchup against Atlanta. The issue is, this game could turn into a blowout. The Hawks just been terrible. But I still think Tobias is upside at 7.8K. Okay, so let's see here. Another guy I thought I'd bring up is Juancho Hernangomez. He's kind of been insane the last few days, the last couple of games. 40 fantasy points each of the last 2 games. Now, the issue is, I love the minutes. His minutes seem to be pretty secure here. He's starting at small forward, and, he's going to see minutes in the mid-30s. The only issue I have with him is, we've seen him when he's played with the starters. He's kind of been more of a low-usage guy. So I don't know if I'm buying into Juancho. And with a price bump at 4.8K, I just don't know if I'm still kind of undecided if I'm going to play him or not. I think he's going to be very popular. I think he'll be pretty chalky. And I don't know. I'm considering going with the fade today. I'm not 100%, but, the minutes are secure, and he's been playing pretty good. So I'm kind of undecided on Juancho. I think he's a good play for cash games. Again, I think he'll be pretty popular. So I'm kind of undecided on if I want to play him or not. C.D. Osman at 4.5K. I will only have interest in him if he picks up the start. So he came back and played out the bench against the Wizards, saw 24 minutes. But if he picks up the start, Cleveland has shown they want to give this guy a lot of minutes. So again, if he picks up the start, I think I will be playing him at 4.5K. If he comes on the bench, I don't think I want to go there because I think they will still limit his minutes. Okay, so let's move on to the power forward position. And so Giannis, I think, will be a lot more popular today, but I really do like Anthony Davis at 11.6K if you want to go the more stars than scrubs approach. Again, I'm not really afraid of the Spurs defense. They're not the same defense they have been in the past. And Anthony Davis has shown immense upside here against the Spurs in recent years. And he's starting to be more assertive in the offense. He went on that little stretch of games where he was more passive and not doing a whole lot. One of those games was against the Spurs, but in recent games here, he's starting to shoot the ball a lot more. His minutes are secure. He's going to see about 40 minutes a game. So I'm not afraid of the matchup, and I think that will kind of lower his ownership because people will be afraid of the Spurs. But I do like Anthony Davis today at 11.6K. So Aldridge kind of broke out of his funk last night against the Warriors. He put up 55 fantasy points. The matchup's pretty good here against the Pelicans. At 8K, I'm definitely considering LaMarcus Aldridge. Okay, so let's move on to Montrezl Harrell. And I think I've talked about him in every single video, and I've played him basically every single day. Now, the price has gotten up there where it's not just like a lock and load play. You definitely have to think about it a lot more. But I don't think it's up there enough. And I honestly think I'm going to be going back to the well here with Montrezl Harrell. So, Gortat is the starter by name, but he's only going to see, 15, maybe 20 minutes at most. And Atlanta's defense is terrible. This is like the perfect matchup for Montrezl up and down the court. I think the price tag will scare some people off. I mean, it's definitely up there, but I think I'm going right back to the well with Montrezl Harrell. TJ Warren, I thought I'd bring him up. Again, Philly's defense is, I'm not really scared of targeting people against them anymore. They just haven't looked that good on the defensive end. They've been playing at a pretty high pace. And TJ Warren is just seeing all the minutes he can handle, 42, 37, 40, 38, and 40 minutes. The issue with him is he kind of does have to score the ball to be fantasy productive. Again, the rebounds, not really there. The assists, definitely not there. So if his shot is off, he definitely can lay an egg here. At 6.4K, though, that's not a bad salary. I'm definitely considering him. 6.3K, we got Domantas Sabonis. I think this matchup is going to scare a lot of people off. Again, my philosophy, I don't really like targeting guys against Utah, but with with Oladipo out, that's such a high usage guy out of the offense. Again, everyone's going to have to pick up the slack a little bit. And Domantas Sabonis is a guy off the bench that I think will pick it up even more. I think he might get a few more minutes bump because Utah plays big here. I'm not afraid of the matchup. Sabonis has been unreal lately, and at 6.3K, I think the matchup will scare people off. But I think I'm going to be going to Domantas Sabonis here at 6.3K. So Jaren Jackson Jr. only GPPs for me. He's just so wildly inconsistent. He gets in foul trouble. Seems like almost every game. At 5.8K, the salary, the matchup's not bad, and salary is not bad as well. But it's not for the faint of heart. I can't go there for cash. Definitely for GPPs though. He does have a lot of upside. Larry Nance here at 5.7K. I will have interest if he picks at the start, which I do think he will because Detroit plays big with Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond. And so he only saw 26 minutes against Washington. That was because they got blown out. If this game stays close, he should see close to 30, maybe 35 minutes. He does have a lot of upside. He's a guy that picks up those peripheral stats, those blocks and steals, which I really like. He doesn't have to score the ball to be fantasy productive, which, again, I do really like that. So 5.7K. I will consider Larry Nance if he picks up the start. Okay, let's see. Another guy I thought I'd bring up here, Thaddeus Young. So this is just more of a salary play. I don't want to be playing, all these Indiana guys. But, there's at 4K, I definitely think you have to consider Thad Young today. I think I will be going with Tyreek and Sabonis as the two Indiana guys. I don't think I want to play, all these Indiana guys against Utah. I don't want to go crazy. But, that is a very cheap salary for Thad Young. Dwayne Dedmon at 4K. I have talked about all these Atlanta guys, but, I'm definitely considering him. The issue is, the Clippers are going to run more small ball with Montrez at center, which hurts Dwayne Dedmon. Dwayne Dedmon will get minutes if they play big teams, but again, I don't think he matched up really well against Montrez. So I just don't think I can go there. I do think he has upside, but again, I think the minutes will be kind of limited today for him. Mike Muscala, 3.9K. This guy's starting to become fantasy relevant with his minutes. He's starting to get those Dario Saric minutes. 32 and 37 minutes each last two games. I know he's not a very high usage guy, but the salary is pretty enticing at 3.9K. If you want to go stars and scrubs, I think he's definitely someone you can consider. Amari Spellman, I'm not playing him today, but I just thought I'd bring him up. I played him against the Lakers and Golden State where he laid duds. Finally faded him against Denver, and he puts up 36. Again, just super frustrating. These Hawks guys, they just run such a deep rotation. I mean, the salaries are all very cheap for a lot of them, but I don't want to go crazy on the Hawks. So Ersan Ilyasova at 3.6K. He got very limited against Chicago. They kind of gave his minutes to Thon Maker, which is interesting. So Denver plays pretty big. So I think Ilyasova, if you want to take a shot at GPPs, I don't mind it. I think his minutes will, be more in the 20 to 25 minute range. Only GPPs for me though, because they do seem they want to give Thon Maker some minutes. Okay, so let's move on to the center position. We've got Joel Embiid. He's currently listed as questionable. I do think he'll play. If for some reason he gets rolled out, again, it's a huge minutes boost to a guy like Muscala, like Amir Johnson, and, a usage bump to guys like Ben Simmons and Jimmy Butler. I do think he's going to play, though, at 11.1K. I don't think I can pay that salary for Embiid today. Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond. You guys know how I feel about them. I can never get them right. A pretty good matchup against Cleveland. I will not be going there. Jokic, I do like targeting centers against Milwaukee, but his minutes are just not there. 29, 33, 25, 34. I do think if the game stays close, he sees closer to 30 to 35 minutes, but I just don't think I can go there today. So DeAndre Ayton at 6.5K. I do really like the salary. The issue is Embiid could definitely get him in foul trouble. If for some reason Ayton stays out of foul trouble, I think he can have a pretty good game here against Embiid at 6.5K. But again, I'm pretty worried. I don't think I can go there in cash just because of that concern. Let's see here. Is there anyone else? Not really. Again, Thon Maker, I brought up. They kind of give his minutes to him and not Ilyasova. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of who the first big is off the bench for Milwaukee. Is it going to be Ilyasova? Is it going to be Thon Maker? So that'll be pretty interesting to watch. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for the overall review. So I'm going to be going over my core plays for today real quick. So I talked about De'Aaron Fox. The salary is just way too cheap at 6.1K. I mean, he's going to be chalk. He's going to be very, very popular. I'll be eating the chalk today. I'm going right to De'Aaron Fox. Let's move on to the shooting guard position. And Tyreke Evans, again, I think his last game will scare some people off. But I will be going right back to the well with Tyreke at 4.1K. Okay, so let's move on to small forward. And again, these Kings guys are too cheap. Buddy Hield, if this game stays close, 5.6K is too cheap for him. So I really like Buddy Hield. You guys know how I feel about Montrezl Harrell. I love him. Again, I think the salary will scare some people off. But this is the perfect game environment for him. He can pick up some blocks. He can pick up some steals. Atlanta turns the ball over a lot. So I still think he is in play. And he will be a part of my core. And then lastly, Domantas Sabonis here at 6.3K. Again, I don't want to go crazy with my exposure to Indiana, but I think Tyreke and Sabonis are the two I want the most because I think I have the most upside. Again, if you want to go with a guy like Collison, Corey Joseph, Thad Young, maybe even Miles Turner, I don't mind it. But I think my two favorite Indiana guys are Sabonis and Tyreke. And again, I don't want to go crazy in my exposure because I do believe Utah is a pretty elite defense. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for my core today. So you got 7.1K, so you can definitely fit like a star. Like, if you want to go Anthony Davis, you can fit him in, and still be pretty comfortable because you have 4.8K remaining. Or if you want to go more balanced, you could definitely do so. So yeah, I think this is a pretty solid core, and this leaves you with enough salary remaining where you could kind of play with, do it what you want. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you have been enjoying the content, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section down below. Also, follow me on Twitter. It'll be in the description below. I give my thoughts as more news comes out. And yeah, I will be back tomorrow for Tuesday NBA, so I will see you guys then.